The Design for Textiles programme at Heriot-Watt University encourages students to generate an innovative and original approach to making their textiles. At the start of each project, students are encouraged to develop a body of visual research and sketchbook work, and then they interpret these into woven structures, knitted structures, and print and pattern making techniques in order to create their own unique collections. The programme celebrates both traditional textile making techniques because of the large workshops and making areas, but we also encourage students to look at more innovative, sort of cutting edge techniques also to make fabrics. In terms of the market, students tend to work towards a fashion or interior market, so it's looking at fabrics for clothes, accessories, also things like upholstery, wallpapers. So a whole breadth of sort of fashion and textile ends, as well as some students who would also like to go on to become textile artists and designer makers or work to commission. In terms of the structure for the Design for Textiles programme, the first year provides a very general introduction towards designing and looking at the context of textile design. You're also introduced to the amazing workshop facilities on campus, and you're given your first opportunity to screen print, weave using the looms, and operate the knitting machines. So it's a real chance to see what's possible in terms of textile design. This is supported by an amazing two-part lecture series. So part of it's delivered in first year and second year that really informs and tells you all about the world of textiles, the different techniques and the different possibilities in terms of the textile design world. So it's a really good backup that actually will prepare you for life after uni. In second year, we encourage students to develop their sketchbook and drawing skills at the beginning of projects, and to develop what we would call their own style or their own handwriting, so that when they move into printing, weaving and knitting, they're actually finding their own way of doing it. So it's a sort of original solution to making and following up the techniques that they were introduced to in first year. We look at ideas for fashion, ideas for interiors, and also gallery pieces, art pieces. All of that is developed in our second year. Third year would be our industry year, and it's where we have lots of speakers, industry visitors coming in, and also we encourage students to enter national competitions. So really the third year is about challenging the styles, challenging the handwriting that you've developed through second year, but applying it to an industrial sort of context. You may find that you really find your kind of industry niche, or you maybe find that that's not the way that you want to go. In fourth year, then you can have a very open approach and you write your own honours project brief. In first semester, students tend to test, trial and sort of prototype ideas, and then in semester 2 it's all about creating a portfolio that you want to leave university with. So it's all about sort of creating a portfolio of outcomes. We have different written elements to our final year, and some students might choose to go a very businessy marketing route, and so their written element covers the idea of setting up a business or working for a company. We also have students who are much more interested in developing the context and actually seeing what's out there already. So they tend to go for much more of an extended essay and much more of a contextual route. And we find that the two routes really suit quite different sorts of students in terms of their aspirations after university. The third year tends to be when we introduce our industry projects, and we collaborate with industry partners who set students' briefs that normally are in an area that the company are kind of well known for. So recently we've worked with colour forecasting companies, stationery, greetings cards, and quite a commercial sort of surface pattern project. And this year we did a really exciting project with a technical textiles company called Transcal, and actually Butte Fabrics. who are very well known for creating very upmarket furnishing fabrics. So they asked the students to actually come up with innovative ideas that cross sort of textile boundaries, that look at printing, weaving, knitting, and actually crossing the boundaries of kind of laser cut and different forms of production, to come up with new ideas for fabrics for hotels, corporate spaces, and for something that would kind of almost move their companies forward. The great thing about that was that the industry partners kind of brief the students. They come sort of midway through the project to sort of see how the ideas are going, and at the end they offer students placements, internships, whereby they can really kind of experience what it's like to design in the studio of these companies. So it's a very valuable experience. Also in third year, we actually push students to enter lots of national competitions. We tend to do, one of the competitions is the Bradford Textile Society textiles competition. It's a national competition, and this year we were really kind of overwhelmed how the students' work was received, and they actually won so many prizes and so many awards in that competition that the actual university and the programme was offered a very special award for the high standard of entries that we actually submitted. Our graduates tend to go on and work as in-house designers for fairly well-known companies, so they're involved in the weaving, printing and knitting textile industries, and they tend to be involved in either the fashion, interiors or accessory market. So it's really interesting that a number of students over the last couple of years have been employed by Barry, which is a knitwear company who provide all the knitting for Chanel. So it's a name that is very global. Also Locaron, a woven company who would produce fabrics for brands and designers such as Vivienne Westwood. Or it can be the opposite, that students tend to work globally. So over the last couple of years, Old Navy and The Gap, they've employed 2 print students, one from each graduating year, to work in their design headquarters in San Francisco as print designers. The School of Textiles and Design of Heriot-Watt has an amazing sort of heritage and history. We never encourage students to kind of rest on their laurels, and I think the Design for Textile programme encourages a really vibrant studio atmosphere. It's a very inclusive place. It's where students sort of exchange ideas, and it's kind of fun to study in. And from this, students build and create portfolios that on graduation really are taken up by world-leading companies and produced and employed, and it's a great place.